and he's gonna be a 1 or 2, depending on where you put him. So he's a viable option to come to be part of this receiving core that just isn't that great to begin with.
Well, but here's my other thing. The Jets, I don't see him being able to
Here's
go back to New York.
But here's the thing:
I
he could go back to New York. He would never be. I don't think he would be back on the Giants. But it's not like fans despise him. He made one. Well, I mean, Giants fans probably do, but Jets fans probably don't. Here's the thing: Santonio Holmes, I believe, is a free agent. I could be wrong on that one. I know Braylon Edwards is, and there's talks that they're not even going to re-sign Braylon Edwards. So they're going to be looking for someone.
right.
Just, both of those guys had run-ins with the league. Just another possibility of Rex Ryan might be able to make magic out of this guy.
Well,
His last impression on the NFL is his game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl. So he's got something to come off. That's what Santonio Holmes' last impression was before he was out the door in Pittsburgh. So crazier things have happened.
I really don't doubt that someone in the league might take a chance on him, but at the same time, he's he's a receiver who is 34. There's not a really good track record with guys who reach their mid 30s in the NFL. Most guys are falling off by that point, and especially a guy who hasn't seen action in almost 2 years.
Yeah, but that also could mean that his body's not as beaten up, and if he has kept himself in shape and stuff like that, and he's gonna have a long time to get back in shape once he gets out, because it's looking like this labor dispute is gonna last until the beginning of the year, so he's gonna have a while, and I feel like one of these bigger teams is gonna take a shot at him for a year or half a season just to see what he can give them, just to see what he can do. And because there's going to be an injury, there's going to be something that happens to where they're going to be like, okay, we need to take a look at Plaxico. I mean, he's kind of got the TO written all over him. TO wasn't picked up until the very beginning of the season, and he played really well. I mean, he was the leading receiver in Cincinnati. But obviously he's not being resigned for whatever reason. On to a little baseball news, and I think the final story that we got, spring training has started. I don't really care about spring training. It's just, it's a glorified exhibition season. When we think of NFL preseason, it's not hyped up that much. I'm sure most people can't even tell you when the NBA exhibition season begins or ends.
The only reason I know about the NBA exhibition season is because they go to different countries for it.
But no other professional sport has a preseason that is just blown up to what baseball's is. I mean, people travel to go watch these teams play. It's crazy. And you don't hear the complaining of, oh, well, Tim Lincecum only pitched 3 innings today. That's horrible. Why would I ever want to pay for this ticket? Kind of the same thing as Peyton Manning going out there and doing 2 or 3 series and then sitting the bench. Baseball fans are crazy. That's all there is to it. And
I will agree with you 100% there.
And then on top of that, we had the Chicago Cubs already fighting each other this year. I mean, this has got to set some kind of record for the fastest clubhouse fight to begin a season. They had their problems last year with Derek Lee and Carlos Zambrano. This year, they just had Carlos Silva and Aramis Ramirez get into it in the dugout after the first inning of a game. You've got to be kidding me. It's the first inning. Save it. Apparently, in the first inning, Silva gave up 2 home runs. Ramirez was responsible for one of the 3 errors in the inning, and they were down 6-1. When I'm assuming it started out as an argument, which then probably led to fisticuffs, which led to a separation, which then led to Coach Mike Quady saying, okay, we need to already have a team meeting. It is spring training. Who calls a team meeting in spring? That is how dysfunctional this baseball team is right now, and it's pathetic. As a Cubs fan, I am embarrassed for this team.
I would have no problem with getting rid of the Cubs entirely.
Well, that's not going to happen, Brock. Okay.
but at the same time, I think the problem with the Cubs is the Cubs always look for guys who they think are going to be difference makers, but team chemistry is always a little bit sour because they go after big names but can't manage to fit them all into a team construct. And I just don't see the Cubs season getting much better. They made a couple moves in the offseason. They didn't make their team as good as some of the other teams have in the offseason. Especially with some of the big trades, I really feel like the Cubs missed out on some big names that were coming out this season. And, we really won't know what the impact is until the season actually shows up. But I think the Cubs have definitely set a precedent at not even the beginning of the season, at the preseason, that there's going to be issues, and if nothing else, it's going to be entertaining.
Yeah, it will be an entertaining season. I mean, they're going to probably finish last, at least second to last, because Pittsburgh will probably finish last as usual. But after this season, the majority of the team is gone to free agency, which is good because that means we're getting rid of a lot of contracts. We're getting rid of a lot of players that don't need to be there anymore. Sadly, I think that means my boy Fukudome is going to be gone. Here's hoping for an amazing season, so they bring him back. Greatest name in baseball, and so he needs to come back. And
wow,
it's true. He is the greatest name in all of baseball. So before we end this, I want to throw out two things. First off, sticking with baseball, who do you think is going to win the World Series? We might as well get our World Series predictions in right now.
Man, I don't know baseball like that.
Are you serious? Come on, there's like 4 teams that win every year.
I'll go Phillies.
And that's who I'm going with. Nobody's going to stop that rotation.
They have one of the best rotations in baseball. And especially with all the moves they made in the offseason. I just don't see anybody being able to keep up with them.
Yeah, I'm calling Phillies Red Sox World Series with the addition of Crawford and the Red Sox. I think that team finally got what they needed, and the Yankees, their pitching rotation is just awful. Like,
it's a mess.
Yeah, they have Sabathia and that's it. So as long as if you lose to Sabathia, you're good to go because you're just gonna beat the crap out of them the rest of the way.
Prediction right now: Brewers are going to at least be in contention for the division.
Oh, I think the Brewers are going to win the division.
You think they're going to win?
I think with adding Zach Greinke, oh yeah, the Cardinals aren't going to do much now. They lost Wainwright, and then the Pujols thing is going to be a huge distraction all season long. As much as they don't want it to be, it's going to end up being because of the media. Cincinnati Reds, I just don't know about them. This is going to be an interesting year because if they repeat, that shows they're a legit team. Or it was just a fluke season. I can't remember what the second thing was. So
Miami Heat.
Yeah, we can talk Miami Heat. I don't think that was it, but we can throw that out there real fast. The Miami Heat struggling as of late, just getting dominated in the second half by, it seems, every team they play. They fell to the Bulls today by 1 point, 87-86. They lost the other night to the Magic after being up by 24 points. Both games, players cried afterwards. There's a picture of Chris Bosh crying at the post conference of one of the games, and apparently Spoelstra told the media today that there were guys in the locker room crying after getting beat by the Bulls.
Oh, I'd be crying too if you lost the number two ranked in the East, and also got cleaned out by the Bulls this season. So basically, they lost the tiebreaker, and they've dropped I don't know how many games since the All-Star weekend.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. They're 1-9 against the top 5 teams in the NBA. you're not going anywhere with that kind of record.
They've just been they've been in a constant slide, and I'm not sure exactly where it's coming from. Their point guard situation is dire. They need somebody who can fill that hole. Is Bibby that guy? I don't know. Bibby needs to be with a contender at this point in his career, because when he got traded, he went from the Atlanta Hawks, who are a legitimate 4 or 5 seed in the East, to going to the Wizard, who aren't going to be doing anything for any time soon. And for all of his years in Sacramento, I think he has played with winners and he knows how to win. I think this addition of Bibby is going to help them and give them a little bit more veteran experience, but at the same time, I think they have some massive problems that they need to deal with. Most importantly, they have a very, very thin front court. And you have a pretty old front court, other than Bosch and Joel Anthony. Ilgauskas is what, 30, mid 30s. Dampier is around the same. You've got a lot of age on your big men, which big men don't age as fast, or they keep legitimate longer. But I feel like this team is just not meshing. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's they can't get it figured out, but they can't close out games. And I'm sorry, being people by scoring only works so far. Ask the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think this is going to probably wrap up our chat today. Any final thoughts?
Nope, I got nothing. Look for us, in the next couple days to bring up something. On March 14th, we're going to be doing our NCAA bracket show, because the brackets are released on the 13th. So we're going to have that up. And that's really all we got set in stone for right now. So keep following, keep listening. Follow us on Twitter, follow us on the blog. We have a Facebook fan page. So look for us there. Just, do all those. Comments, stuff like that. Let us know what you guys think. Let us know your reactions to any of the stories, stuff like that.
If you have any topics that you might want us to throw out here.
Anything you guys think we should talk about, give us your opinion. Obviously, we'll throw it in here. Just keep listening. Thanks for listening. Keep it going. And I guess that's really all. So thanks for listening, and we will see you guys next time.